Here we go. Good luck. Ben and Susan are the central couple in which TV sitcom? Only Fools and Horses, One Foot in the Grave, or My Family?
Well, it's certainly not One Foot in the Grave because they're all aged and miserable. Del Boy Trotter is a bit of a wide boy. We see him around quite a bit in the office. I think the answer to that question is My Family.
I think you're right. Well done. Judith, the names of the American astronauts Scott Carpenter, Virgil Grissom, Alan Shepard, Gordon Cooper and John Glenn were used as the names of the brothers in which TV series? The Waltons, Thunderbirds, or Chucklevision?
Well, the Waltons is sort of older, isn't it, than astronauts? I always think the Waltons been on forever and ever. And the Thunderbird, I've never heard of Chucklevision, so let's have a go at Chucklevision.
There is a bit of Chucklevision going on back here.
Oh dear, wrong answer.
The right answer is Thunderbirds.
I don't think I've ever watched Thunderbirds. I'm exactly like that judge in the height of the Beatles mania and said, who are the Beatles?
Who are the Buttles?
I mean, I realise I've got to that stage.
Your question, John. Who plays the title role in the 2008 film Hancock? Is it Tom Cruise, Owen Wilson, or Will Smith?
I don't think it's Tom Cruise. I think I've seen his face on the buzzes that I've passed. I think it's Will Smith.
You're right, it is Will Smith. Judith. Raymond Baxter, William Woolard, and Judith Hahn were presenters during the 1970s of which TV show? Blue Peter, Tomorrow's World, or That's Life?
My brains have left me. I'm crying now, but I'm laughing crying rather than crying. Raymond Baxter, William Woolard. I thought he was an opera singer.
It's William Woolard.
Woolard. And who's the other one?
Judith Hahn. What you're watching is the quiz equivalent of rope-a-dope.
I think it's Tomorrow's World. Oh, please let it be tomorrow.
You're right, Judith. Well done. Back on track. Well done. Whew. Okay, your question, John. The 1967 D.A. Pennebaker documentary film Don't Look Back follows which singer on his 1965 tour of England? Was it Bob Dylan, Jimi Hendrix, or Johnny Cash?
I'm not really sure about this, I have to say. But I don't think it's Jimi Hendrix. I'm minded to go for Bob Dylan.
Spot on with Bob Dylan, you've got that right. And because you've got that right, there's no way back for Judith. So, John, you have emerged triumphant against the Egghead. You will be in the final round. I'm sorry, Judith, you won't. Please, both of you, come back to the studio. As it stands, the Eggheads have lost one brain from the final round, while the challengers have lost no brains. The next subject is music. Who from the challengers would like to take on music? And against which Egghead?
I would have thought John more than Bob, to be honest, because you're a pretty good 60s man.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, who says the questions are going to be on the 60s?
Yeah, but
We're going to have to make a choice, though, aren't we?
Well, you can do science, can't you?
Well, yeah, but what are we going to do if...
We'll worry about science.
We'll worry about it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go on.
OK, it's going to be John.
Yeah, it's going to be John.
Not with the greatest will in the world, but he's going to go.
Because music really is your subject.
It is, yeah.
So how did that happen?
Because the category's changed a little bit, I think, from previous series, and the entertainment one was a global sort of subject, and I was going to do all of that, but now it's been split into TV, films, and music, so I can't go again.
You're still in it, so that's the main thing.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, John, you're on music.
Unfortunately.
But you were down to do science.
Yeah.
Something's unravelling here, isn't it? OK, which Egghead?
Yeah, Daphne.
You sure this, yeah?
Daphne.
We're going to bring on Daphne.
OK, John from the Official Retrievers against Daphne from the Eggheads. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. OK, 3 questions on music in turn. John, would you like the first or second set?
Always the gentleman. I'll go first, please.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies is the opening line of which Beatles song? Is it Hey Jude, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, or Penny Lane?
Well, luckily it's the Beatles, so that's a start. At least it's not too modern. I do believe it's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
And you were so worried about this category.
Yeah, that's only the first question.
Yeah, but you got it right. Well done. Daphne, your question. In which decade was Pass the Duchy a UK #1 hit single for musical youth? 1960s, 1970s, or 1980s?
I don't know. I keep telling you, all this era, all three of them passed me by. When you have children, yes. Because I don't know, I'll go straight down the middle and say the 1970s.
Oh, John, you'll know this one.
I will, yeah.
Yeah, go on, sing it for a second.
I think it's Pass the Duchy from the left-hand side.
That's right, all kids and all in the...
80s.
In the 80s,
Oh,
Daphne. Well, that's handy. This is going the opposite way or you thought it might. John, your second question. In 1990, The Only One I Know became the first UK top 10 hit single for which indie band? Primal Scream, The Charlatans, or The Happy Mondays?
I haven't a clue. It's much too modern. And I can't even eliminate any of them. I'll go with The Charlatans.
You're right.
Yes. Come on, John Wood.
Daphne, the 808, also known as the Roland TR 808, beloved of record producers around the world, is a type of what? If you get this wrong, you're out. Is it a tape recorder, microphone, or drum machine?
Well, I'm just hoping TR stands for tape recorder, so I'm crossing my fingers and going for that.
I don't know what TR stands for because the answer is a drum machine.
Oh, right.
So you are wrong, and you're out. You're not in the final round. How interesting, John. All your worries about not being able to compete there, and you've just taken her apart. Well done. You emerged triumphant against our Egghead. So, John, you will play in the final round, and please, both of you, come back and rejoin your teammates. As it stands, the Eggheads have lost 2 brains from the final round, whilst the challengers still have not lost any brains. Our next subject is history. Now, I know your planning's gone to pot. Have you got somebody on history?
Yeah, we've got a history specialist.
Just gone back on track.
And we've
Excellent.
just gone back on track.
Excellent.
Richard. It's going to be my friend here on my left.
Richard?
Who are we going to play then?
We're going to play.
See-
Come on, let's see if we can rattle another plug.
What should we do then? Take
We'll
Kevin?
take CJ.
CJ, please.
Okay. Richard from the official Retrievers is going to take on CJ from the Eggheads. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. I'll ask each of you 3 questions on history in turn. Richard, would you like the first set of questions or the second set?
I'll go first, please, Jeremy.
And here we go. Lady Caroline Lamb, notorious for her affair with Lord Byron, was the wife of which British Prime Minister? Was it Lord Melbourne, William Gladstone, or William Pitt the Younger?
I don't think William Pitt the Younger had time to get married. That's why they called him the Younger. He died very young. Gladstone went looking for ladies of dubious reputation, as far as I remember, so it's Lord Melbourne. He was a lamb.
You're right, it was Lord Melbourne. Good. And not that easy. Here we go, CJ. How are you feeling?
I'm not looking forward to this.
Okay. Having been born there, Richard II was known as Richard of which French city? Nice, Grenoble, or Bordeaux?
He's really one of the forgotten kings, isn't he, Richard II? And I'm not sure I've heard this. Oh dear. Let's start my inevitable downward slide with Richard of Bordeaux.
It's not downwards, you got it right, well done. Okay, next one to you, Richard. So you're level. Which Royal Navy aircraft carrier was hit and sunk by the German U-boat U-81 in November 1941? Was it HMS Illustrious, HMS Indomitable, or HMS Ark Royal?
That's a sticky one. Ark Royal was badly hit, but I'm not sure she was sunk. I'm going for HMS Indomitable.
And it's wrong. It was HMS Ark Royal. So, CJ, your chance to take the advantage. John Hampden was an English politician who played a leading part in the opposition to the rule of which king? Charles I, Edward VI, or Richard III?
Oh dear, not sure about this, but there is one name that's eking me. I don't think it's Edward VI. But I'm going to work on the basis that I know virtually nothing about Richard III, so I'm going to go for Charles I.
Charles I is the correct answer, CJ. Well done. So you have 2 points. And Richard, you have 1. You need to get this right, Richard, or you will not be in the final. The Royal House of Lancaster's reign over England began in the last year of which century? 12th, 14th, or 16th?
The only house I can remember that actually began in the last year of a century was when Richard of Bordeaux died and was succeeded, I believe, by Henry IV of the House of Lancaster, so it'd be the 14th.
Lovely. You're right. Well, it's tight here, and CJ, if you get this right, you're in the final. If you don't, we go to sudden death. CJ, in 1911, William Waldorf Astor became the owner of which national newspaper? The Times, The Observer, or The Telegraph?
Well, I really don't have much to go on here. So, apologies if I'm going to let my team down and humiliate myself in sudden death, but I'm going to go for The Times.
And what's your reasoning there?
He strikes me as rather a conservative figure. The Times is a rather conservative newspaper, not quite as much as The Telegraph, admittedly. So that's the one I'm going to go for.
It was The Observer. You're wrong, which means we go to sudden death. Richard, you survived your problem with the second question. So let's see if you can take the round now. Not multiple choice now, Richard, okay, so I'm going to need an answer from you. What was the nickname given to the son of Francois Papadoc Duvalier, who succeeded him as president of Haiti?
He was another member, not only of the Duvalier family, but presumably of the Doc family, because he was known as Baby Doc.
He was indeed known as Baby Doc, you're quite right. Just pulling clear now, unless you can hold him, CJ. Which British king was the last to hold the title Emperor of India?
Oh, dear. Well, let's see, they became independent in 47. Would they have had an emperor up until the end? I don't know. I'm hoping the title had gone earlier rather than later. It just seems a bit antiquated for later. It's George V or George VI. I'm going to go for George V.
Okay, your response, Eggheads, to that?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. George VI it was. So CJ, with that wrong answer, you lose your place in the final. Richard, you will join your team in the final. Well done. It looked a bit sticky there, but you came through. Good history knowledge. Please, both of you, come back to the studio.
Is it true someone's been murdered?